Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
Hello, Buffalo. For the keys. What's up, y'all? I don't know. I had to.
I love it. I love it. I'm not even gonna lie. I love
yes.
Approval. And yet, of course, breaking news of the day: Tiger Woods cannot keep his sauce together for some reason.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
No, but welcome everybody. We are very excited to bring you another live episode of the show, and we hope you enjoy everything that we're going to give you today. With
we
that
got
being,
some Colt 45 in the building.
Colt
45.
Yep, Billy D said was good. Slim Natives. Listen, we started on time. I don't think people expected it. I want to give more people an opportunity to get in here because I have a statement to make about the state of fandom today.
Snap. J-Ham, would it be?
But let's start
with
this.
A state of fandom?
The state of fandom.
I'm glad you have that because I was having a conversation with my man the other day. We're gonna chop it up. Yeah, I got a question for y'all. I have a question for y'all today. Just you wait.
All right, cool. I'm with it. So all right. So let's start here then until we get enough people in here. So as far as the signings that just happened, right? Obviously, we have now 4 guys.
Where you going right there? That's where we're going.
I mean, it's the lowest hanging fruit.
I didn't think so, but hey, you know.
You didn't think so?
No,
what's the lowest hanging fruit?
The lowest hanging fruit for me?
Yeah.
I'm suspended from Twitter again. I didn't do anything.
What?
I don't know why.
Are you serious?
I did nothing wrong. Tommy's probably like, yo, where's Keys? Keys ain't talking to me.
Tommy's probably the one that got it done.
Probably did. I didn't even. I was like, you're suspended. Like, what? All my followers, everything's wiped. Everything's gone.
Are you serious,
yeah.
bro?
I'm like, whatever, Twitter. Kick rocks.
Wow. Yo, okay, so I'm not gonna lie. That happened to me.
Yeah.
But and this kind of it's not really a sad story, but it is what it is. So I had messaged my biological father on Twitter, right? And he's I think he owns a record company in Cleveland, right? And so I just wanted to pick his brain because at the time I was into producing music and stuff like that, and just wanted to get some pointers, maybe connect on some music stuff. Bro, the very next day, my whole account was blocked. I couldn't get on Twitter. I couldn't do that. Still to this day, I can't get back on Twitter with that account. Like it's unbelievable, bro.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I wish Twitter would give you an opportunity for like some sort of arbitration. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I talk to somebody? Can I understand exactly what the accusation was?
Could I open you?
Right, because I mean, as far as I know, Twitter is like the only social media site that allows people to put up their OnlyFans stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you can go that far with it, then what the heck are my words gonna do?
I don't know what I liked. I don't know what I did. I don't type anything all like that. So whatever. So it's incredible. Twitter got me. Then my other thought I had. This is how weird I am. Don't tell me if you do this.
Okay.
Do you ever just walk alone and you look at somebody, you just name them? No.
What?
Okay. All right. So
you openly name somebody?
I just name people. They'll be like, yo, yeah. So, I was
that guy's Jimmy, that guy's Bob, that guy's Jeff, that guy's James.
Well, I was like, it's when somebody just speaks to me, like not like physically, but we just like, you know what? This is him. Saw this guy, the black dude, probably mid-60s. Just got off work. Looked like he looked like he was on that. It looked like he was on that thing. He was pissed off about something.
Okay.
Friday, long day of work. Looked like he got hard candy in his pocket. I said, that's that dude named Lester. It's got to be Lester. Got to be. And then, what I said, why would I justify his name being Lester? I said, you know what? How many Lesters do we really know? We don't know Lesters anymore. It's a retired name.
Okay. Was he old?
He's like 65, probably.
Was he black?
You know it.
It's probably a Lester.
Probably
I'm
was
not
Lester.
gonna lie.
No.
I gotta give it to you. It's probably a Lester.
Lester Franklin.
I don't know about Franklin. It's got to be like a Lester Williams or a Lester Johnson.
Williams.
Like
Now you getting it. Now you getting it. Yep. Lester Jefferson.
We are horrible.
I know.
Going straight to the gutter.
And the last thing I wanted to get into before we got to your thing was Jay Ham. Tell the masses. Tell them. I'm ready. I'm ready, Jay Ham.
He said, I'm late like Keys. What?
I wasn't late this time.
I know.
I was early, surprisingly. So
all of y'all was late.
Right. If there's any technical difficulties, I'm never coming early again. I told you last time and I messed up.
Well, that wasn't your fault. It really wasn't your fault.
You know what? I've been fighting this for a long time.
Okay.
I'm ready.
For?
Big Baller Bean, man.
Oh.
Big Baller Bean. I'm ready to be BB. Believe in Bean Island. Just when you think it can't be done, he does it.
What?
He does it.
What happened?
He brought in Austin Corbett. Bam. No, fam. Lloyd Cushenberry IV. And explain how this happened. Sherfield.
They are who we thought they were.
And just when I thought it wasn't, I was on pins and needles. I couldn't sleep last night. I said, you know what? Please, God. And when it came through, we got Damar Hamlin back. BB. I'm ready. I'm ready to set my place on the island. I'm ready to get there. If you'll have me, of course.
Are you done?
Rant incoming.
Bro, I'm so mad you said that. You just changed my whole emotion, bro. That's what you was going for. You was playing the spin roll. You was trying to get me to blow up on the set. I promise you that was. I'm like, there's no way you just flipped like that. There's no way. And then I'm like, okay, all right. He's on the right side. But he keep going on about this stuff. Somebody might think he's serious. Stop, bro. Please stop, bro. Please stop, bro. Yeah. I don't know how much more of this we can take. And what's funny about this instance of Brandon Beane's moves is everybody who agrees with us about the caliber of player is going to come up with the justification that this is just for camp. These are just camp bodies. I've already seen it on Twitter. These are just camp bodies. That's not the point. The point is you can bring in better talent for the camp.
You know, this is my point. And if it's a camp body, I've said this a million times. If we hadn't seen Lloyd Cushenberry, had we not seen Damar Hamlin, had we not seen Trent Sherfield, had they not dressed for us at some point in time, fine. We want to get a look at them. What did I rant about the practice squad last year? We kept bringing people. It's a taxi squad. Turnover is a must. You don't just hold people in the taxi squad. You get in and out,
Thank
shuttle.
you.
And so we keep bringing back people to get a look at the camp body. No stone unturned. I just can't do it. I can't. You know, it's
Sinke said, guarantee Hamlin makes this roster. We should have kept Dane. We should have kept Dane. Dane Jackson. Let me say this one more time.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna let it happen.
The same Dane Jackson that came into the game and immediately gave up a touchdown against the Broncos.
That one. You may as well get it done.
Like, all Damar Hamlin got to do is send the Bills a picture of him.
Yep.
It's like, I know that's low. I'm sorry. But that, like, is that all it takes?
I mean, honestly, you know, and just stop. Like, you knew you wanted him back. You knew you could get him back.
Right.
You should have just got him back.
Just do it right away.
Just do it right away.
Yeah.
What's the point? Everybody, we're freeing up all this space. I got people IMing me to say, they about to make $1 million. No, they're not. One, $13 million isn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
And two, they just signed, a couple other people, and I'm like, they're not making this move that you guys think. But if you want Damar, was he horrible? No. Is he going to be a starter? No. So just stop. Just stop.
I'm sorry, really quick. and I know you're talking to Nate, Sandra, but saying no one is thrilled he'll be a vet presence, I think where we're both going with this is the vet presence is something that you have there for teaching purposes or culture purposes. If I had to choose between the two, I want teaching purposes. I want a guy there who's been there, done that, been great, and maybe on the downside of his career, like a Bradley Chubb, to teach some of these younger guys, either some of his moves or how he thinks the game or whatever the case may be. But for him to just be a vet presence there, in Damar Hamlin's case, just for the sake of being a vet presence, they like Damar Hamlin being is a culture pick. He's not the guy that's going to teach these young safeties anything. He's never been great. Not good enough to teach Bishop, not good enough to teach anybody else on this roster.
This is why.
How Bean go from Gardner back across the street to Hamlin.
Because he said they're going to equal each other out. He said maybe Hamlin will knock some of the edge off of Gardner.
I'm really starting to think that somebody on the team put the word in so that they can look at Damar Hamlin's wife. I'm really thinking that that's what this is about.
His wife? He's married?
His girl.
Okay.
I'm
no, honestly, I don't know who that is. Okay. I got you.
The bottom line is,
I got you.
I'll tell you after
slow
the
in the
show.
draw. Go ahead.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But basically, and I'm sorry to do that to y'all, but I really can't say it on the show.
Can't do it.
But anyway, this is whether it's as a camp body or whether it's a vet presence, the idea behind bringing in veteran guys in general is to make your younger up-and-coming players better. As you've said many times before, iron sharpens iron. So any move that you make should be increasing competition. What kind of competition is Damar Hamlin offering to this safety room at all? He's instantly number 4 on the depth chart. So if I had to choose between him and Brandon Cooks, guess who I'm choosing? Brandon Cooks came on and did way more than Damar Hamlin has ever done for this team. Way more. In what, 4 games? 5 games? Roughly. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to diminish the hard work and effort that Damar Hamlin has put in for this team and, almost given his life for this team. But from a purely football standpoint, your skill set is not enough, my dude.
No, I mean, like I said, if you were bringing him in, if he was on the Broncos last year, the 4 cornerback on the Broncos, and Jim Leonard came, you brought him in, welcome. But we've seen him.
That's what Trent Sherfield is.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him. But see, with Sherfield, we saw him with Brady, and he was not good. I take Damar Hamlin over Trent Sherfield.
But Sherfield was part of that Sean Payton system last season, which equips him for this year's iteration of the Bills offense, which is going to be most likely very closely related to what Sean Payton has done his whole career.
Well, maybe. I that's the thing. When people ask me what about wide receivers, I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what Joe Brady really is. I have no idea. So I need to see it. Yeah, I mean, SDB, Hamlin did have a 2 interceptions. He was number 2 in tackles when he started. So I mean, he wasn't nothing. But the point is, if you don't re-sign him long term after that as a backup, a career backup that you want to improve upon, then you don't keep bringing him back. If he's your starter and he put those numbers up he had 2 interceptions, like 90 something tackles or whatever the case may be. He played in 13 or 14 games. So those aren't nothing numbers, but if you keep giving them 1-year contracts, just let him go. I'm pretty sure, he really would have been a Steeler had it not been for Tomlin getting released. That's what I think. People that know me know I'm not a Damar Hamlin hater. But when they took so long to bring him back, I said, okay, he's not coming back. This isn't going to happen. And today, when it comes across the news feed, there he is. Vu, what's up, brother? I don't know how to take it because, they preached to us that it was different, that it was going to be a whole nother iteration, attacking defense, a different philosophy, and Damar Hamlin doesn't fit that philosophy. So I would have been very confident in saying that he wasn't going to be back in Buffalo. I
think the only player that I'm remotely interested in all this, excuse me, is Cushenberry. And I say Cushenberry because his skill set, what he was earlier in his career, was very underrated. And actually for Tennessee, he was a very good center. And he's not one of those, super elite, high pedigree kind of guys, but I could see him coming in at guard and being very, very solid in this system, right? And when I say this system, my mindset is what we saw in Carolina is going to be what Joe Brady ends up bringing here, maybe with a few tweaks to fit what Josh likes to do, but that's what I'm looking at as Brady's system, only because that's the first and only time in the NFL that he was able to have free reign over calling an offense. So we should be able to look at that and see a lot of the concepts that he was using there. He'll obviously have some adaptations and stuff like that, but you combine that with what his teaching is in, or what his learning is in, is Sean Payton's system. Is going to be a combination of both. So when I'm looking at, offensive linemen, when I'm looking at wide receivers and all that kind of stuff, that's the system that I'm thinking about these players fitting in, right? For Lloyd Cushenberry, he's a very athletic offensive lineman, right? And for what he's been as a starter, for him to come in for a year and plug in that left guard, I think he could do it. But that isn't the competition that I want at left guard. What I really wanted to see, as I try to do two things at once here, what I really wanted to see is somebody who could take the job from Alec Anderson. Because right now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think any of the guys that we signed could take the job from Alec Anderson. I really don't. I think his chemistry with the other offensive linemen and his chemistry with Josh Allen, just in general, is what's going to end up winning him the job. Now, if I had to choose, obviously I want the guy that's been around, that has the chemistry and stuff like that. But Alec Anderson is definitely not my, that's the guy that I want in there. And I feel like more times than not over the last few seasons, those are the players we end up getting stuck with. The Terrell Bernards of the world, the Christian Benfords of the world, even the Greg Rousseaus of the world. These are all guys in my mind where it's like, are they better than all of the rest of the guys that the Bills seem to like? Yeah, for sure. 100%. Are they the best option at that position of all that's available in the NFL right now? And the answer would be no.
See, that's another one. That's my new ick. I've been holding it close to chest. I've been holding it dear to my heart, and I wasn't going to let it out, but I have to now. The ick now is the word compete. Everybody compete. I never heard so much competition, compete, but it's always compete for depth. It's never compete for starts. It's compete for depth. Yep. When they bring these guys in, they bring these people never heard of, these washed ups, these whatever. It competes for depth.
You're competing for a job.
Yeah, they're competing for a job. We're going to come in here and work hard for a job. No, I want the starters to worry about being depth. That's what I want. I want, Terrell Bernard to worry about being depth. I want, who else we have? Garner Johnson to be worried about being depth. Yeah. He came here because he knows he's going to start. He knows that. He talks like him and Cole already. They're going to start. You're talking about Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. They're going to start. You know what they are. But if you're not an all-pro, you're not a Pro Bowler, I use it lightly, you should be worried about starting. Deion Dawkins. Yep. Spencer Brown. Well, he's a Pro Bowler. Deion Dawkins is stupid. He's older. Osiris Torrance, who has a lot to prove still. Connor McGovern, because he wanted to come back to Buffalo. Now he's a starter. And this is what I'm talking about when I say, and everybody calls me negative for not being happy about all these guys, is who's competing to start? Who are we saying unquestioned is coming here? Who should be worried is already on the team, should be worried about the start? Mm-hmm. Because 17 is safe, 4 is safe, and we're talking about Josh Palmer as a starter. We're talking about, we're talking about slotting in Micah Hoyt, and he hasn't even played more than 6 quarters. So this is the issue I'm talking about. I want guys. I know we don't have money. We're cap strapped, but that's another thing. We're cap strapped. Why? We don't have competition on the top, and we got competition down here. We got competition for guys who we're worried about. The number 5 wide receiver should be a special teams guy. No, the number 5 wide receiver should be pushing number 1 all day and all night in practice. The number 3 guy should be pushing number 2. Every week it's like a positional battle, and we don't have that here because guys like Keon Coleman, and I'm not picking on him, but because Brandon Beane said draft night, he's our ex. He didn't do anything in college to prove that he should be a starter right off the bat. He's not Jordan Tyson. He wasn't Marvin Harrison Jr. He wasn't Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors. He was a second-round draft pick that didn't even get off the plane in Buffalo with a yellow jacket and get cookies, and he's our ex. Yep. But that's the culture that the Bills have. The Bills have a culture of being businessmen, being loving to each other, being this brotherhood, this family. But within this family, brothers compete, and they want to be the top of the mountain. In no household, when you have your little cousins, your brothers, whatever the case may be, do you say, he's better than me? I'm glad being his backup. Next man up. I don't want to be next man up. That's him. Because guess what? If I get hurt, he's going to play. I don't care if he started the last 5 years. I'm better. I'm going to play. And the Bills don't have that collective attitude. And that's what drives me nuts. Yep. That's what puts you over the top. That kind of attitude.
Yep. Of the Bills' top 30 players. And when I say top 30 players, I mean the top 30 cap hits on their salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
Only 8 of them are 26 or younger. 8.
Yep.
The vast majority of your core players on your salary cap right now, Josh Allen 30, Deion Dawkins 32, Ed Oliver 29, Josh Palmer 27, Spencer Brown 28, Dawson Knox 30, Michael Hoyt 29, DJ Moore 29, Bradley Chubb 30, James Cook 27, Terrell Bernard 27, Connor McGovern 29. Ty Johnson still on the team, 29. D. Alford, this athletic nickel corner, 29. Tyler Bass, 29. Alec Anderson, 27. CJ Gardner-Johnson, 29. Sam Franklin, 29. Kyle Allen, 30. The long snapper, Reed Ferguson, 32.
He's got to get cut this year, doesn't he?
Huh?
He has to get cut.
Reed Ferguson?
Yeah, doesn't
he? No way. Who's taking his job?
I'll take it.
No.
I got to be a 49 overall in Madden to take his job. His overall.
I think you can get there. You wouldn't have to run at all.
I might be able
to. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
See, like Billy D just said, like I'm not to cut you up, but Billy just said,
yeah,
I'm the smallest in my family, but blessed but on my bigger cousin. That's if we're at St. John Fisher, I'm not going to sleep.
I'm sorry, bro. I had to.
It's fair.
He left himself open for that.
Fair.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
open test. I mean, but this thing. I'm not.
Right. I remember that game, bro. Oh my god.
But I'm not going to sleep because he's studying.
Yeah.
He's trying to take my job. I'm not helping him because he's trying to take my job. That's the culture that I need. And I was talking to my friend on the way in, and I don't want to take it for your point, but I was talking to my friend, and he's like, "Well, then what about?" He said, "We might get Diggs back." I said, "Cool." He said, "What about Christian Wilkinson?" Christian Wilkins. I'm like, "Even better." Mm-hmm. I said, "I'd be all smiles," because these guys. I mean, maybe not Diggs as much, but he's still better than what we have to me.
Yeah.
But Wilkins is and Ed Oliver together on the field. He's got mental problems. Ed Oliver is just talented.
Right.
Head case, talent. Put him out there. Let him go roughshod. Let him be the tag team duo that we always wanted. The small version of Ted and Pat. But to your point about the free agents, look at all the free agents that are new to the team that are 28 or older.
Mm-hmm.
We bringing in old guys. We're not letting them matriculate through the process. We didn't bring them in and let them be backups back of the back. They're bringing them in to be backups at 29 years old.
Right.
And what are they making?
We'll get to you in a second, Senke. Give me 1 second. There's a logic behind this team build that I don't think people talk about enough, which is the foundation of this culture of everybody loves one another and all that kind of stuff. It answers the question that you need to start every season with, which is what are we playing for, right? And I truly, truly, truly understand why that was the cultural decision up front, right? Because you had a franchise that was used to losing. You know, guys didn't want to come here. You know, most guys probably didn't want to play on Sundays because they knew they were going to lose. They didn't have a great quarterback, blah, blah, blah. But if you can convince these guys to play for each other and love one another and not want to let their teammates down, well, then guess what? You can have a terrible quarterback and they'll still go out and they'll play hard and they'll be, underrated and underdogs and they'll be unexpected on Sundays. That's cool. The issue here with that is you could get the same effect with good players.
Mm-hmm.
You could get the same, because at the end of the day, and I've said this many, many times in several different ways, winning solves all of it. And you don't have to have a Josh Allen to win a lot of games. Right. You can have a Baker Mayfield. You can have a Jared Goff. You can have
Matt Stafford. You can have whatever.
Not Matt Stafford. Who's the kid? The kid
Sam Darnold.
San Francisco. Sam Darnold.
You got
Brock Purdy.
You
know what I'm saying? So you can still get it done with a quarterback like that by surrounding him with talent, like all these other teams did. Jared Goff is surrounded by a bunch of talent. Friggin' Sam Darnold surrounded by a bunch of talent. Brock Purdy surrounded by a bunch of talent. You can do it that way, right, and you'll win a lot of games. Mm-hmm. And once teams see that they have a shot, first and foremost, they see it in training camp. They see who's all on the team. They see how they look. Players can tell the same way, good scouts and people who analyze the game can tell whether or not you're going to be good. So if they can see it before we can see it, and they see it, earlier than pretty much anybody else outside of the team, then don't you think you wouldn't have to work so hard on that specific culture of, well, you guys got to love one another and we got to, and the reason the reason I'm saying all this, and Senke, I'm sorry I'm going so long, but give me just one more second.
Senke, you've been watching the show for a long time. You already know. Go ahead,
so the reason I brought up the age thing is because that's a part of the culture. If you go and you get a bunch of older guys that have already had their fun, they're settling down, they're with a girl that they plan on spending the rest of their lives with, or they have children, or whatever the case may be, they will much more easily conform into this culture of, well, I want to love thy neighbor and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's cool. But all these guys want to win too. They don't have to come here and just identify as a family guy in order to fit in with this team. You can have a bunch of young bucks that get, schooled or like, imagine, I guess this is kind of where I'm going. Imagine having a Ray Lewis at the end of his career on this team to work with a Bishop, to work with a Terrell Bernard, to work with a Christian Benford and a Greg Rousseau. You think they would be playing as soft as they play? You think Terrell Bernard would be running around blocks like he is? You think Greg Rousseau would not figure out how to bend something to get around that edge?
Yeah, they inspire you though. That's the thing, they inspire.
Right.
That. Yeah.
All right, let's get to Senke here. Senke, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Yo.
What up?
What's up?
Man, it's like Shaq Thompson, bro. Like, it's so many people who I feel like perform, way better than Hamlin. And it's like, I feel like we just keep setting ourselves up for, the same results. And it's like, that's the definition of insanity.
Yep. You said it.
Yeah.
You said it. But so let me ask you this. So do you think this is, after seeing the players that we've signed now, are you starting to lean more towards it wasn't really Sean McDermott, or do you still think it was both, or do you think maybe Brandon Beane was the issue the whole time and Sean McDermott was just getting fed whack players?
I feel like it's Birdman, all three of them. Everybody got to go.
I mean, that's the only way you I don't want to use the C word, but that's the only way you eradicate it.
Yeah.
You cut it all the way out. You don't leave some of it and hope that it doesn't spread. You get rid of all of it. Everybody says, well, what do you want the Bills to do? You want to go backwards? We won last year, so why we fired a coach?
Right.
We won last year. Why we fired a coach? That's the answer. Anytime you ask me that question, well, you don't want to revert back to the drought, then we can run it all back.
Yep.
But it's like, my question is,
yeah, go ahead.
with everything that done happened, do you feel like we address safety and wide receiver in the draft?
I think for this one, safety is going to be they're going to ease back. I think they're going to take one, but I don't think they're going to take it in the first round. I think Nate and Thielman is a pipe dream now. I'm looking more at like a Bud Clark or somebody like that in the third, fourth round, which is still a good player, hell of a player, but it's just not that, not that guy from Ohio State or Thielman or, whoever else you might think of.
Yeah. To be quite honest, I think what we're seeing now is a commitment to a 2-year build for the Buffalo Bills, right? And with that being the case, from a lot of different evidence, not just the players that they signed, you look at a player like Geno Stone, who's 27 years old on a 1-year deal. I think this is a prove-it deal for him. He has been seen as a good safety, in his career as far as coverage is concerned. His 14 interceptions over a span of 3 years or 4 years rather would suggest he's a pretty good safety to put up those kind of interceptions in that span. So my thought is, I believe that Geno Stone is going to be that future investment at safety because of the fact that this is a 2-year build. I do not think that the Bills are going to put themselves in a position realistically at all in the next 2 years to have to rely on a rookie to come in and play a significant role on either side of the ball. Because the mindset is win now. I'll put it like this: for veteran players, if they hear that the commitment is win now, they don't expect you to rely on a rookie unless it's a Ruben Bain, unless it's the safety out of Ohio State, unless it's a player like that. If it's a player like that, then yeah, that's a dog. Bring him in. We'll help him out.
Who's the dog?
The safety out of Ohio State.
Oh, I thought you were talking about I think Caleb Banks. I thought you were talking about safety.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were talking about Ruben Bain. He sucks, dude. He's not going in the first round. He's one of the worst defensive ends prospects I've seen in 20 years. They ain't buy it. Damn it. We're not getting him. I'm gonna side note this. The way this dude performed his pro day, that is what I want. That is everything I'm talking about when I say the bend, the speed, the explosion. That is what I'm talking about. There's no need to even misinterpret what I'm asking for. That is a prototypical rush in. Cassius Howell is a prototypical rush in. If you look at Ruben Bain versus Arvell Reese in their pro days, night and day. Night and day. This is such a clean prospect. He's got stumpy arms. So what? The dude is a beast. And could you imagine him firing off next to freaking Ed Oliver or anybody? Deion Walker? Could you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
This dude would have 15 sacks. It would be so funny how he gets to the quarterback every week.
Yeah.
But instead he's going to go like the Jets, Miami, or New England somehow. We got to worry about this crap for the rest of our lives.
I was going to say nobody asked Keyshawn to stand up, but after the last little bit of what you just said, I think you're fine. Yeah. I think you're okay now. But yeah, I mean, Roy is over here saying Aramis doesn't like old players. That's what I've learned so far. No, I don't like old bad players. I don't like old players that are clearly past their prime. CJ Gardner-Johnson is 29. I loved that signing. So
I don't know why. I think I love it because of who he is, not even what he does on the field. Yes. I don't even care what he does on the field yet.
Right. Just shake it up, bro. Just shake it up.
Just do you brought this to Buffalo?
Right.
Kudos, sir.
Yep. That's really what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show. Jamal says, I'm afraid because I think McDermott will be the next Jets coach after everything that happened after McDermott firing. I agree. Bean and Brady set him up. That is really what it's seeming like right now. I mean, look, you cannot deny the success he had in 2015 with that Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis defense and Josh Norman and all them boys. You can't deny that, right? So if that's the case, then what are we left to believe? Well, we're left to believe that after the guy that you say is the problem left, you're still signing players aside from CJ Gardner-Johnson that we know that we used to call Sean McDermott guys.
Yeah.
Like I swore if you had forced me, you probably wouldn't even have to force me. If you had asked me to bet money that DeMar Hamlin would not be back, I'd bet money that DeMar Hamlin would not be back. Yeah. Because I swore that it was McDermott. It's clearly not. I was absolutely mistaken. And I'll eat that till the day that I die. McDermott was not the one picking the players. We didn't find that out until he was fired. So that's what it took for us to find out what was really going on. I'm still okay with it. You know why? Because now everybody's going to have a clear picture after this. So when it's all said and done and we've seen the product at the end of 2026, we can make a firm decision. We don't want no more of this.
Yeah. Tommy said, what do you say? PPP now loves McDermott. Boy, oh boy, the hatred towards Bean got them wanting McDermott back. I thought I heard it all. Now, this is the kick. You should have watched the beginning of the show because you would have then heard it all, buddy. I thought you were here. Also, just so you know, you got me suspended on Twitter. No, you didn't.
Yeah,
but
it is his fault. It probably is. Damn it, Tommy. We know it was you that got Keyshawn kicked off of Twitter. Wiped. You're going to get on this chat and own it now. Tell the folks what you did.
What did you do? What did you push? Unpush it. But yeah, Roy, I don't think. Okay, this is the thing. He said earlier. He said something about you get young players in the draft, you get your older players, blah blah blah, in free agency. Yes and no. You can always get that guy coming off their rookie contract in free agency. You can always get a reclamation project. Keon Coleman will be a reclamation project somewhere probably. If you can't draft, you go to the next phase. You look at those guys that aren't commanding top dollar, but have done enough that you say, you know what, maybe I can work with this guy. You get a couple of those guys, now you're cooking with grease, 25, 26-year-olds. You know, signing 30-year-olds, 31-year-olds because they're culture guys, culture fits, competing for depth. That's where I draw the line. Also, before Bodega gets in here, somebody asked, do we not like the Hamlin pick, or do we like the Hamlin pick? Whatever the case may be. I'm sorry if I misquoted it, but that was the gist of what your comment said. I don't hate Hamlin still being on the team as much as I hate them letting him go and then come back. If you saw him before, Brandon Beane knows him, Joe Brady knows him, and you really couldn't do much better. You didn't want to do much better outside of Garner Johnson and Alford. Just give him a 2-3 year vet min deal so he can play special teams. That's what they got him for, special teams. Mm-hmm. Just give him that.
Yep.
We're signing Sam Franklin to 3-year deals.
Yeah, really, to play special teams.
Right. And he never started. DeMar Hamlin started 2 seasons for us.
Right. Bodega Cat, what's on your mind, bro? Uh-oh.
You there?
Can you hear us?
Maybe not.
All right, we'll put him backstage for now. So really quick, I want to get to this comment here before we check back on Bodega Cat. Lynn says, y'all are not seeing the field. Got to have a dog in the center to create the opportunity for the edges to work. Everything is based off the line of scrimmage. In a traditional odd front, you are absolutely right. However, I truly believe the Mint defense is different in this way. The Mint defense is more based off of speed and quickness than it is being, I guess, physically dominant in the run game. You can use your speed to shoot gaps. You can use your speed to get to the point of attack faster than your opponent. And that also gives you an opportunity to be very, very good in the run game.
Yeah.
I'll give you a prime example. So we played Denver last year, and they gave us some problems in the run game. Like James Cook was not really going off. He had some good runs, but it was still very, very difficult. They focused on shutting him down and forcing Josh Allen to pass the ball. Mm-hmm. Now, their nose tackle is a guy by the name of Malcolm Roach. Okay, mm-hmm. Malcolm Roach is 6'3", 290 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's not a...
He's smarter than Oliver, really.
Right, yeah. Right. So like from a physical standpoint, that's not a dog per se, right? Mm-hmm. So then you go and you look at his statistics. Last season, he played in 12 games, and mind you, he's the only nose tackle on the roster right now. So he might have swapped out with. I think he did back up the starter from last year, but 4 sacks, 41 combined tackles. He only started in 2 games, 3 tackles for loss, 5 QB hits. Really not very big statistical contributions from Malcolm Roach. But that's their starter on a defense that was ranked number 2 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is that you got to think about the other concept in the defense. It's an odd front, but it's called mint tight. The reason why it's called tight is because of the formation. In a regular 3-4, your defensive ends are usually defensive tackles. They line up outside the tackle, or right on the tackle. So what happens in the mint defense is they compress. They come in half a shade, so they're inside the tackle's shoulder. That's called a 4-eye. And what that does is that does not allow for the linemen to get to the linebackers on our team. It's built to protect smaller linebackers so they can fly around the field. The second component to this is the mint defense is built to funnel. It's built to funnel the running backs to where they want them to go. So what you're thinking about when you see a inside linebacker, they're offered, or whoever the nickel, the star as they call it, the star and Bishop are going to be the centerpieces of the defense. The star is going to be pretty much the fourth linebacker, if you will, in most fronts, the 3-3-5, 2-4-5, all those. Most of them have nickels, and that nickel is going to serve as that fourth or fifth linebacker. So, in essence, you're not looking for a what do you call it? I don't want to say a head buster, but you're looking for somebody that's going to wreak havoc, but also fast enough and athletic enough to get to a spot. They have something called creepers. What creepers do, creepers are used for simulated pressures. They slide up on the line. They allow for the quarterback to think he knows who's coming on the defensive rush, but they're actually not. You'll see Bradley Chubb right on the line of scrimmage, and he'll back up in coverage. You'll see Greg Rousseau. And this is another thing. I don't know if I'm sold on Greg Rousseau being a linebacker. They say that, but he can play the 4-eye. If you have Rousseau and if you have Rousseau and either Walker in 0 or 1 shade and Ed Oliver on the other side with whoever, or, you can do these things with Chubb behind Rousseau, however the case may be, because Rousseau gives you enough rush that you're not counting on him to be the pass rusher, but he can get the interior rush on the quarterback and allow for Brad Chubb to come in there and do his thing. I don't think that he might be a linebacker, but I don't think we should, cement him in at that role just yet. I think he's more suited for the 4-eye.
Okay.
Sampson said he's playing. All right. See, I'm not reading the comments. You saw me look at you. So I didn't take your thought, but yeah, he said Rousseau plays like Bruce Smith at right end. Good. I could see him getting freaky with it.
He put some weight on, maybe. Bodega Cat, you with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, what's going on, bro? What's on your mind?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, man. Peace to the room and everything. I just got two quick takes. I think with fans seeing that Christian Wilkins is available, I don't think he has any choice but to take the minimum. So I don't think it's a problem that the Bills could get him. But you got to take into account that him and Josh Allen just don't see eye to eye. So it's just like signing him is going to have to be on the if Josh Allen approves basis. It's probably going to have to come down to that. So that's just one. And two, Brandon Beane has to realize that he's into the atmosphere, the same atmosphere that the Rams into when they just had to say, forget all their draft picks. Like, none of their draft picks mattered to the point before when they went to the Super Bowl and got dog walk. Well, not dog walk, but just got like old school by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They just said, forget it. We're going to go all in and just trade our draft picks. It makes no sense to keep high draft picks when you could go get star players. You could go get some players if you just trade your draft pick. I don't understand what is Brandon Beane's problem with that. Like, I don't know what he's I don't know what development group that scouts that he put together that he thinks he could just draft these players and they're just going to get them to become stars. I don't know what's in the back of his mind. So, and then I don't understand how ownership doesn't put the foot on his neck because we got a new stadium. We need stars. How are we going to have a new stadium with no stars? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't even add up. So it's just like he has to really realize that high draft picks don't mean anything. It's like we're just guessing on who the dumbest question I've been hearing is who are we going to draft at 26? We don't know. We don't know. That's too far. Right. It's like impossible. It's like it's a headache trying to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's it right there, and appreciate the the content for the week, guys.
Anytime, man.
No doubt. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that was funny. You mentioned Josh and Christian Wilkins. I was taken back to the interview when we played. I think the Dolphins the second time, maybe, where I listened to the Dolphins press conference, and they asked Christian Wilkins, about playing Josh. He's like, "It's my guy. I love him. We're friends. This and third." So I pop over to the Bills with Josh. He said we're guys. He's like, I don't know about all that, but he's a heck of a player, but I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean that's yeah. Drafted at 26, I think. See, that's the thing. Drafted at 26, you have to, in my opinion, if you're going to draft at 26, you have to scout the second round heavy. You have to know who the names are in the first round, but you got to scout. You have to know the second round like the back of your hand. You got to know who they played against, what they do best, because this is when it gets tricky. When you don't have a quarterback or you don't have a high-paid quarterback, you can go get a free agent easily. But now when you get the quarterback and now when you're winning, you don't have that 15, 14, 13 pick. You got to really do your math because Phil Yates and Mel Kiper aren't going to tell you. We'll get to Mel Kiper in a moment with that Avion Terrell thing. I don't know whatever, but they can't bail you out when you're at 26. They just think because they don't know who's going to be there. Like, well, they can say they don't know, and you got to know. Do I have Thielman? Do I have Ruben Bain? Do I have Jordan Tyson? David Boston? Do you have Denzel Boston? Do I have They have to know these things because somebody's going to creep up and somebody's jump back. Ty Simpson. Who was Ty Simpson? Who does he fit with? Where do they draft? What can we get for that pick? We should be talking to people already. Who is it? Arizona? They don't have a quarterback, which I want to give a second and third. That, draft day. If this guy is not here, I'm on the phone with you. Hold tight. Not saying they're not, but that's where we are with this. And I think that's what Bodega's going to. You have to think that way as opposed to doing a mock draft saying I'm staying at 26.
Right. Roy asked the question earlier. He said, "Is Hamlin on the same level as Geno Stone?" I don't think either one is very good. Just depth with the special teams role.
I agree with that. I know you're not, but I don't know you're not, but I think you're not.
I got numbers that say otherwise, and I'm going to go through that right now. So for all of you that were looking at all the Twitter videos and listening to those fans in Cincinnati who think they know what they had. Let me just tell you about the 2023 season for Geno Stone when he was in Baltimore. Yep. Okay. He started in 11 games. He had 7 interceptions for a total of 101 return yards on those interceptions. He had 9 passes defensed. He had 68 combined tackles that season. Okay. The very next season after that, he was with Cincinnati, 2024. He played in and started 17 games that season. Durability. He had 4 interceptions for 88 yards, 1 interception, interception return touchdown. He had 1 fumble recovery. He had 81 combined tackles that season, 4 QB hits. I mean, what from the safety position? What more do you want him to do? The 2025 season, played in and started 17 games, 2 interceptions. He had an interception touchdown. He had 4 passes defensed. He had 2 sacks that season and a combined 104 tackles for a safety. Well, I get that all of the hoopla around Geno Stone's name is that he's not good, but how many safeties do you see putting up over 100 tackles every season? Did Bishop do that?
Hey.
I'm just
keep
saying.
Cole Bishop's name out your motherfucking mouth.
I'm just saying. I put his name in there to make sure that the impact of what I'm saying hits hard enough, because at the end of the day, we love Bishop. We love his potential, but he's not that player right now. Not yet. He hasn't. And the reason we can say that is because he hasn't put up the stats yet. Right? Does he have the potential to do that? Heck yeah. What are we basing that off of? What we've already seen him do in last season. We saw the trajectory. We saw the growth. We saw the learning curve. So it's easy to say he's going to be that good. But currently right now, is he on Geno Stone's level? No, he's not. And neither is DeMar Hamlin. You want to look at DeMar Hamlin's numbers? Let's go to DeMar Hamlin's numbers. Since we're talking about it, okay? DeMar Hamlin played in and started in 14 games in 2024. He had 2 interceptions. He had 5 passes defensed and 89 combined tackles. That is the best season he's ever had. Ever. The only other season that he played a lot of games in was 2022. He played in 15 games. He started 13 of them. He had 1.5 sacks, 91 combined tackles, and no interceptions. He had a forced fumble. Okay, great. 3 QB hits, 6 tackles for loss. Again, he's not making impactful plays the way Geno Stone was. Geno Stone had at least, he had 7 interceptions, then 4, and then 2. But the year he had 2, he had over 100 tackles, and he had a fumble recovery. It's not even close. 3 years in a row, this man has put up impactful seasons, and DeMar Hamlin has had 2 in the span of 5 years, and hasn't even been a starter. And when I say starter, I mean like day one, you got this guy on your team. He won the job. He's the guy. Not because because everybody else before him has a concussion or just can't play. That's why DeMar Hamlin was getting in, because everybody before him was incapable of playing, whether it was due to injury or whatever else.
Yeah, I think Geno Stone got a lot to prove, because I know his tackle numbers are abysmal, and I mean, he's got a lot of tackles under his belt, but he's missed a hell of a ton of tackles too. So that's something he's got to clean up. Interception, he had 7 in his career in 6 in one season. I mean, that's cool, but it's got to be sustained. I mean, 100+ tackles for a safety. If I don't know how they played him. If they played him in the box, he was a linebacker. That means he's gonna play that star role like he in Buffalo needs it. But I just don't know if he's where he fits. I know he's not really a ball hawk, is he? He's not a true free safety, is he?
Yes, he is. So he in his best season, he played strong and free safety. The following 2 seasons in Cincinnati, he was a strong safety, and then he was a split safety.
That's the thing. I need to know if he's a single high. If he plays single high, you might be able to work with something. But I mean, he has a lot of. He's a reclamation project as far as we're concerned. He played in Baltimore on I'm guessing that was, what year was that?
That was his best season, 2023.
That was.
I just don't know how you can be a bad player and get 7 interceptions. I've never seen a bad player go and get 7 interceptions.
I saw Jairus Byrd do it. I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
You take that back right now.
No, Jairus Byrd wasn't bad, but it's I don't know. I just think that we saw it in the system. I just need to see it again, and I hope it's in Buffalo, because I have no problem re-signing him for whatever we have to re-sign him for. Yeah. He's younger than Gardner Johnson, and Gardner Johnson is the starter right now on a 1-year contract. So there's a lot to be said. He's on with Stone's on a vet min contract. Gardner Johnson's on close to a vet min, 3.5, was it 3.25, something like that, guaranteed. Next year is anybody's guess. So can we get gentleman from Ohio, Oregon? Maybe. Could we get?
I'm starting to think it's just me.
What?
Go ahead, finish your point.
Could we get Bud Clark? Probably. And the list goes on and on. Caleb Banks, at this point, sure, that knee is destroyed. Just like Ruben Bain sucks. Yeah, I don't want these guys on my team at all. No, sir. No, sir. But I mean, if you can't, if you can get those guys, then we're not talking about Geno Stone. But if you can't, then Geno Stone goes out there and balls out, competes, then you got a job.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about. I don't get it. It said, Lynn says, well, wait a minute. Bishop's probably aging out of Aramis's youth movement. I'm really like this. It's got to just be me, because I haven't been the only one on this show talking about we need to get younger. But apparently, it's
that was good. I like that.
Yeah, fine, whatever. No damage because there's only one McGahee, and there only needs to be one McGahee. We don't need to keep trying to do that same thing over again.
Yeah.
To be honest, McGahee was never a player that I liked. Like
as a person, I was like,
especially when they asked him to gain weight and be a power back. It's like, dude, that was never his game in college. But you just told.
After he destroys his knees, put more weight on your knee. Go ahead.
Right. And then he starts having back problems and all that. Like, come on, man.
I wonder why.
What are you talking about?
I wonder why.
Let me. I'm gonna do my statement now, if I could, please.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the statement because I got something else I want to get to as well. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think everything that we've seen to this point, for those people that are poking fun at me and stuff like that, I think it's first and foremost, I don't have an issue with it. Poke away, that's fine. But what I'm about to say to you is, all of you, is more related to the mindset behind asking Willis McGahee to put on weight and become a power back, re-signing Damar Hamlin, focusing on, players who have families and are older because they fit the culture better, even though they're not the best possible option out there for the dollar amount. I think a big part of this has to do with this, and bear with me. This is kind of extensive, and I made sure to write it out so that I could clearly convey the thought. Okay. So here we go. We don't have agency anymore. And when I say we, I mean all of us as individual humans. We don't, especially in this country, we don't have agency anymore. We don't have someone standing in the gap for us on a physical level, right? Think about it. Why do we feel so compelled to speak up so much when somebody says something we don't agree with? Most of us didn't do that as kids. Why? Because there was somebody in our lives that we could go and tell and they would handle it. Now, throughout history, we had agents that chose to stand up for those who were too afraid or had no right to. We trusted in them and we praised them for their many great qualities in defense of us. But somehow, somewhere along the line, the government and big businesses found a way to rip that from the community, to rip that form of community and communication out of our vocabulary. Now, we are a bunch of separated opinions, and now we're a bunch of separated opinions that may or may not overlap with the opinions of others, with no clearly defined reality to pull from. Everybody has their own version of the story with no way to fact check it. How do we even know what's real anymore? Okay. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this is the human culture we all live in now. And I think we can all agree that it is not what we would have chosen for ourselves if we had been asked ahead of time. This era does, however, present certain opportunities that never existed before. In this era where nothing is real, narratives can be made up or changed in an instant. Okay? If you have enough power and money, you can sing terribly and nobody will cancel you. You can treat people like crap and nobody will turn you in. You can grab a woman by the... I'm not going to say it.
No, I won't cancel today.
Okay. And even convince a city that they are getting the very best form of a football franchise. And even convince a city that they are getting the very best from a football franchise when simply scrolling on Twitter can reveal that other teams are making better moves for their fans. Folks, big business has taken your agency away and coaxed you into cult-like behavior. We each find something to believe in and we just go full force with no breaks. Why? Because there's no one there to tell us, don't follow them. They ain't worth your time. Or don't build an island for Shorty over there. He really ain't that good at his job. And so you just march on, repping the colors that represent your city, because there's nobody there to tell you that the city and the team should really be repping for you. That's the culture in this city that we live in. We are so convinced that we are on the Bills team when everything about the bill started from our pockets. It started from our pockets. How many more tax dollars do we have to give before we get some agency with this team? We've already had our agency taken away from the government. Like we there's no impact on that. That's all big business. That's all big pharma. That's all big whatever. They choose who they want in office. They take advantage of the system. They control it. We gave that away. We're going to continue to do that. And I'm not trying to make this strictly political, but in a sense, the culture that has been imposed upon us is political because it asks our players to come in and be what? Humble and hungry, right? You want to make this team? You better be humble and hungry. Well, who doesn't have to be humble and hungry? Did Deion Sanders have to be humble and hungry? No. Why? Because he was the best at what he did. So he could ask for whatever he wanted. Josh Allen, does he have to be humble and hungry? No, he doesn't have to be anything. If he chose to walk away today, the Bills franchise would fall apart for the next 2 years until they could clear his cap space. Like they literally would not be able to field a reputable team. They just wouldn't. So my point is, we are accepting what they do just because it's what they do, and we don't have enough agency to tell us that what they're doing is wrong or what they're doing is not going to lead to wins. If we ever hear anybody else say that, it's normally on a national media platform. And those are the people that we go after because they're not from here. They're not one of us. They can't speak for us. In my experience of covering this team over the last 4 years and my experience in listening to national media way longer than that, there are times where they get it wrong, but there are also times where you do have to acknowledge the national perspective on your team. And I think right now, everybody's looking at this Bills team and they're saying, we got to see. We got to see. But they say that as a result of the only other option being it's just not good. Or I should say there's 3 options. You can either say it's terrible, you can say you like it, or you can just say we'll see. And we'll see is the nicest possible way that you can talk about this team right now. Your thoughts, bro?
You said a lot.
I know.
I'm not going to attack people, but that kind of drags into what I was going to say. And I just thought about it and I said, you know what? Caleb Banks, that doesn't sound right. Caleb Banks is actually the defensive tackle from Florida.
I knew that name didn't sound right. Caleb Downs.
Caleb
Yes.
Downs,
Okay.
that's
Thank
what
you.
it is.
Yeah.
But when I think about the conversation I had with my friend last night in regards to fandom and all this, the national media, which I don't listen to anyway. I couldn't tell you jack-ish about. I don't care about them. They don't know Buffalo. They don't know our head from our butts, right? They just know what they see on the highlights that we watch every day. And since it's Emmanuel Acho, or since it's Shady McCoy, who's kind of more intimate with Buffalo because he played here. You got Nate Burleson and these guys who come into Buffalo every once in a while to film a game and they think they know. You don't know. So as much as we crucify Jeremy and Joe and Chopin Bulldogs and all those guys in between, they're the ones that have the same emotions as we do. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that have the same opinions as we do, and they can talk circles around most people in regards to that. I mean, people that watch this show can talk circles around most people, but this drags me into the conversation I had with a friend last night when we were talking. I forget what exactly spawned it, but we were talking about he likes Tyreek Hill. He wants Tyreek Hill in Buffalo. And I'm like, absolutely not. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of you and your cheapness. I'm tired of you and this. It's all about money with you.
I thought I was the only one.
Yeah, no. So he's like, I'm tired of your cheapness. I'm like, but the thing is, he then asked me, he said, are you Mafia or not? And I said, no, I'm not Mafia.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the Mafia. But there's fans that are in the Mafia but the Mafia is its own entity. The Mafia is like Niagara Falls, Canada. The Mafia is like Clifton Hills. It's all show. It's this, it's that. Fandom is like Niagara Falls, New York. No frills, no fun, straight to the point. We got the water, we got the venue, we got the history.
All grit.
But that's what I'm talking about. When you think about Mafia, when they said the Bills Mafia is crazy, why are they crazy? Because they're jumping through tables.
Yeah.
Why are they crazy? Because they're drinking. Why are they crazy? Because they're walking around in 0-degree weather with the Zubas overalls on.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they nuts? Because they wear head-to-toe Bills gear when they get off planes. You know, go Bills, go Bills. This is Mafia.
Yeah.
Now, you can be indoctrinated in that, but when you ask a Mafia member, what is the Mafia exactly? They're like crazy fans. The Mafia only became existent in 2011. What happened before that? The Bills have been a team since what, 1959, 1960. The point of this is when you're talking about the traveling, you're talking about the crazy, you're talking about the fun, you're talking about Hot Dog Man with the ketchup and mustard, all that stuff. That is not me. That's not me. I go to a game and part of the definition of being Mafia is this. Part of the definition of being Mafia is being a fanatical person with the Bills. Like, you agree, you're optimistic, forever optimistic. So by virtue of us sitting here on this show and pushing back on anything, we're false Mafia. False. If we want to claim it, we could, but we're not. So my question to you is, I'm asking you, to you, is there a difference between a fan and Mafia? Because I talked to Tommy and you know, as much as me and Tommy go back and forth about stuff like that, he knows the history. Tommy never lived, you know, in Buffalo, I don't believe. I know you were close, but I don't think you lived in Buffalo. But Tommy,
I think he said had family here or something like
yes,
that.
so yes. But the thing is, like, if you say Reggie McKenzie, Tommy's gonna know. So when people say you got to be in the city to be a fan, no, you don't.
Right.
You got to be. No, you don't. You don't have to travel because you don't have to go to the stadium. What if you can't afford it?
Yep.
I mean, there's, you know, this is like the church divide. I'm not going to get into religion, but this is from somebody, the most religious person I know. You don't have to go to a building.
Thank you.
To have church.
Thank you.
You don't have to go to Rich Ralph Highmark Stadium to be a fan. What if you can't afford it? What if you got a health issue? What if you bleed just like the rest of them? Are you less than? No. You choose to worship, you choose to attend, you choose to fellowship in a different way. So, you know, when you say, are you Mafia? No. I'm a Bills fan.
Yep.
I'm a Bills fan. I sit there and you can't tell me. If T was here, she'd tell you how much I cried when we lost it to the Houston Texans in the playoff game. She'll tell you how many times I had to sit there and people call me stupid for being a Bills fan.
Yep.
If you were in college, if Mel was sitting here right now, he wasn't in college. Never mind. When we lost to the Eagles in 2003, I believe it was, when Brian Westbrook ran that kickback, the whole Sunday, Philadelphia fans banging on my dorm door, Eagles, and I'm like, yo, F you. I'm ready to fight. No, I'm not Mafia. You can call me a fake fan all you want. But I bet you I can tell you about players from the 80s. I can tell you about players from the 90s. I can tell you what I was doing when my favorite thing happened. I can tell you where I sat for this, that, and third, what I saw, what I do, what I remember. Driving by the rock pile on Jefferson and Best, it's like, yo, OJ played here. And it's not even a rock pile anymore. Just the nostalgia of it. If that's not a fan, I don't need it.
Right.
I know who I am. So for you Mafia members or whatever, be blessed. Good. I'm glad you enjoy my team the way I enjoy my team. But I don't subscribe to the same opinions and objectives and mottos as it is right now.
Tommy, your boy Weston is on his JOB, man. That's when you believe in being Island, baby. I don't know what you're paying that guy, but it's worth
a lot.
It is absolutely worth it. Here go Tommy trying to innocently second this guy.
You know it.
Like they both sitting next to each other right now. You're like, come on, man.
Same guy. Tommy got his tablet and his phone.
Weston Brewster is his phone and Tommy is his computer.
Like,
that's hilarious.
Right, Weston. Tommy, I got your back. Weston, I know, man. He gonna get his hands messed up one day. Tommy gonna text to Tommy and Russell gonna text. All right, Laura.
Tommy, you've been busted, bro. You gotta give it up.
I give it up.
No more.
The jig is up. J-Ham knows too. The jig is up. I love it. I love it.
My God.
And real quick, while we have 85 people watching, don't go anywhere just yet. Laura, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Actually, we already talked already. I want to give a big ups to an up and coming podcaster that I came across actually in Tommy's set.
Okay.
Cold Front. I don't know if you heard of this guy. Cold Front. If you're here, let us know when you do your show because I popped in on your show. I didn't mean to hijack your chat. It was, I mean, we got so much love. Me just going there and say, "What's up, man?" Because I saw him on Tommy's show on Monday, and we had a little back and forth. I asked him, what the show, and then I think Tuesday or whatever, I found it happened to pop. I was, let me check it out. Same concept as Tommy's, from his I guess living room or whatever the case may be. Okay. Really chat engaging. Just starting up. I think he has like maybe 300 subs by now. But
Mark knows him.
Yeah. I saw a couple of these guys in there, and we chopped it up. But I think Cold Front, Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong, he's gonna be on your show tonight. So check it out. He's definitely an up and coming guy. Solid cat. Check him out.
Okay, I gotta check him out now. Okay,
Chris, he does a lot of shorts though. Like I've seen him like a lot
really?
In the last 2 or 3 days. I'm like, wow.
All right, I gotta check him out. Okay, so this is more directed at me then. Okay, all right, I get it. Let's see. Lynn says Jeremy White burned me up the other day when he called Buffalo fans bleacher creatures. So that really tweaked my nerves. Bleacher creatures is great.
No, it was. I think it wasn't us. He was talking about somebody else, and that's what they call their fans. So he kind of likened us to them.
Oh,
but they call their fans. I forget what team it was, but they call their fans bleacher creatures. So he likened it to our guys. Yeah.
See, Lynn, you ain't even telling the story right, man. You got people thinking he called us bleacher creatures. Come on, man. You got to report better than that. Yep. David said, right. I live in California. I've been a fan since '87 and I've never been to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you the real one.
Yeah.
You the real one. Like you in a whole nother state where people repping so many other colors and you chose.
You shouldn't say colors. I don't know about repping colors in California. I'm scared.
Well, everything about this is repping colors over there. Like you just gotta be careful which ones you rock.
We got them both. You can't wear
like
if
you're gonna wear a red hat, you better have a blue hoodie with it.
Bills. Check in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I mean, I'm with you on the point, bro. I think at the end of the day, for me, if you choose the team, then choose the team. Stop choosing, I'm not asking you to not like players, but stop choosing players, stop choosing the front office, stop choosing all these ancillary pieces of the team. Those are pieces of the team. The reason I don't fall in love with really anybody is because they gonna leave. They gonna be gone. Mm-hmm. Right. So my love is for the franchise, the colors, the actual, like the name, the Buffalo Bills. Like that's because they're repping my city.
Right.
They're repping the place that I've lived majority of my life. I wasn't born here, but I lived most of my life here. So for me, that matters. Anything that represents Buffalo. I want the Bandits to win. I want the Sabres to win. I wanted the Blizzard to win back then when I was going to their games.
Yeah.
Like,
those were fun.
Anybody that's repping my city, I want you to win. Yeah. And that includes the people in it. All of us should be working together to win.
Yeah.
Right? But we can't do that if we're allowing big business processes, or I should say big business marketing tactics to overtake our ability to process things properly.
Right.
Like, how in the world can you continue to fall for Bean Island and all this other crap? Not saying that's specifically coming from the team, but people come up with this stuff all the time, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not accurate. It's not accurate. I'm sorry. How can you get to a place where you're looking at the teams that win championships and the moves that they make, and then turn around and say, Bean Island, baby? Like, No, like it should be the GM in Philly or the GM. Hell, take the GM for the 49ers. How many stud players have they gotten? They've been to 2 Super Bowls since he's been the GM. With nobody at quarterback, with Jimmy Garoppolo and freaking Brock Purdy. That's who they've done it with. They didn't need a Josh Allen. That guy, John Lynch is the GM there. John Lynch played in the NFL. He's gotten that team to 2 Super Bowls with 2 quarterbacks that nobody would draft until the 5th round. Even if they knew how good they could be at an NFL level, they still wouldn't draft those guys until the 5th round.
Right.
And here we are with the best quarterback by the time he finishes, maybe, in statistical NFL history. And we just can't seem to crack it.
Right.
But Bean Island, baby, where?
That's the frustrating part. That's the frustrating because, when we first started the show, I like Bean. I was always like, "Yo, Bean, me." And now I'm like, nah. And it does have a lot to do with the interview, obviously, because that, like I say all the time, that was a signification that I've arrived. You don't oppose me. I'm him now. So. Your eyes are extremely wide, and they can see you now because we're on split screen.
I just saw this comment from Sam. He's saying I'm Team Bean for the fact that he worked the salary cap that he created and still improved our record every year. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, it was. Okay, let me ask you this. How long did it take the Rams to win a Super Bowl and then get back to being good enough to get to another one? It took them, 2 years? 2 years. 2 years worth of draft picks, 2 years worth of signing players, getting Devontae Adams on the squad. They're in a position this year to go back to another Super Bowl. Even with all the good teams that they have in the NFC, they almost did it last year. They were in the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, and this is kind of where I get caught up in. And Sam, I'm not, trying to hold on. I just want to get rid of the
start it, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's not your specific mindset. I think your mindset. I think a lot of people that I think a lot of people that agree with you all share the mindset, and I think the core of that mindset is what I disagree with. It's not you having your opinion. It's the idea of let's justify why it hasn't happened yet. And to say Rome wasn't built in a day is a justification for why something is taking as long as it is. And when you have several examples in the NFL of teams that have gotten to or won a Super Bowl and then gotten back in less than 4 years, Philadelphia Eagles and the Rams, if you want to go for more than one. And this is all just in the last 10 years. So when you have that on the table, how are you still logically, I guess with reasonable logic, saying Rome wasn't built in a day? There are so many examples over the years. If you just look at the history of the NFL, like when I'm thinking about the points that I make on this show, I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at what works, what wins, and I'm trying to model as much of that with my franchise as I possibly can. Why? Because the NFL is and has always been about patterns. It's about trends. It's about the next wave of what's happening. We see the next wave is teams getting back to running the ball. Why? Because before that, the new wave was shell coverage, which forced the run to come back. And now teams are going to get bigger, which means we're going to need bigger linebackers, which means more teams are probably going to move to an odd front because that allows them to still attack the passer while playing better against the run. You got more guys on the line of scrimmage. So all of it really boils down to just do what you see working, because that's what every team that's won a championship has done. Just do what you see working. If you happen to come across a guy that is innovative and creates something new, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Bill Belichick, then Andy Reid, then fine. Let those guys work, give them everything they need. But if you're going to go get one of these other basic guys, Sean McDermott, and I mean, whoever else, the coach for the Eagles, basic dude, what What?
The way you said it, it's like
basic dude.
It's like you named him basic dude.
Like in my mind, those are not elite minds on their side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean McDermott was not innovative on defense. You know what I mean? Like his system wasn't something that people were like, oh, I gotta do man match and only in nickel defense. Mm-hmm. Like teams incorporated that, but they weren't going to just that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I still think the evidence supports everything I'm saying, and I think that's part of the reason. You know what? Let me do this real quick because I looked this up, and I just want to make this clear to everybody because one of the other things that I absolutely hate is when we get on this show and you and I have educated and researched thoughts, and I guess we can say theories. We can even say theories, and a lot of what we say is supported by fact, and most of what we say would be hard to refute with fact, right? That leaves what? Opinion, right? Everything that we've ever heard anybody who argues with us say is, well, that's my opinion, right? Do y'all know what the definition of opinion is? Let's go through that real quick, okay? An opinion originates from the Latin, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, meaning belief, conjecture. When people are in court and they object, they say, objection, Your Honor, conjecture. Why do they say that? Conjecture is not what? It's not fact. Okay? Conjecture or what one thinks. Okay? And then the verb version of it is to think, to judge, or suppose. Again, none of it based on fact. It entered Middle English via Old French in the early 14th century, specifically referring to a judgment or a belief not based on certainty or positive knowledge. This is public information. It's an AI overview. You can Google the definition of how did I Google it? What is the origin of the word opinion? That's exactly what I typed in. You look it up and you tell me what you see when that gets pulled up, because that's what I got. That's what I got. So when people get in our chat and when people start to argue with us and they say, well, we just have different opinions. No, you have an opinion. I have a theory, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you an opinion is very different from a theory.
That dude.
A theory has to be proven.
Yeah.
It's got to be fact checked. It's got to be vetted. That's what we do here. So this is not Aramis trying to say he's better than thou. He's not. I tell people all the time, just do your own research and we can have a conversation. I have no issue being wrong if you can show me where I'm wrong, but don't give me your opinion for me to look at and think that I'm wrong, because there's no fact in that. It's just not. So I'm sorry, I was just burning on that. Like,
no, you good. I was going to just get to I respect Daquan here. He's a hold like the military. We do not know the sergeant until he's appointed. Then when he's replaced, we follow the next. I follow Bean until he's replaced. See,
he's not your commanding officer.
Well, see, what I'm saying, I can get with that, because if you just follow the team, you know, if you admit, see, for me, if you admit,
okay, yes,
I'm cool with it.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Because you're basically saying, like, this is what I subject myself to.
Right. And I know why I'm doing it. You know, you didn't in there say Bean is the best GM ever. Bean saved the franchise. You just said I'm following him because he's the leading commander of my team per se, which I'm good with that. I can accept that.
Yep. Great point.
Okay, so Chris, what I need you to do is turn us up, turn the TV to mute, and put Razor and Dunleavy on like 2 or 3 until we're done. And then you go but no, I you know, honestly, it's been so hectic. I haven't seen the Sabres again. I've just been listening to everything. My job has been ridiculous, and people decide not to show up when they don't want to show up. So I'm just doing a lot of footworking. But yeah, no, I go Sabres. Honestly, I think Chris is really asking for this show. I pushed 2 black guys talk hockey. Who wants it? Anyway.
Oh man, I got some studying to do if that's gonna be the case.
You gotta call it. Daquan's in there.
Yeah. Did you already get to this one?
No, Daquan's in there. I didn't know if you want to do that. I had that, but
Daquan called in.
Yeah,
Okay. Daquan, what's up, man?
How you feel?
What's up? What's up?
Good, bro. How you?
First of all, I want to give both of you all the credit in the world. Your show is outstanding.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
And I've been a Bills fan since, I would say, 1986, when I really didn't know anything about football, but I saw somebody carrying a rock one way and I loved it.
Yep.
And I love the no huddle thingy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I'm one of those people who know football, saying professionally. I just know what a winning team looks like. And I just want to address a couple of issues with you. And thank you, by the way, 40. You're right. I just follow the team, whoever's in charge, because I have to believe that somebody knows what they're doing. And I'm of the mindset that at the end of the year, the only thing you really need to do, as far as I'm concerned, is make it to the playoffs and win either 4 or 3 games in a row. It's that simple for me. So and I've heard Aramis say this 1,000 times, who's playing the best ball at the end of the year? It's that simple. You only need to win 4 or 3 in a row. Any team can do that. Any team can get hot. Now, having said that, do I like being? Hell no.
Tommy got you.
I love it. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm not a Bean fan. I never was, as far as I'm concerned. I was one of the people who actually wanted them both gone, because what is the definition of insanity? You know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Say it.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I saw the same thing over and over and over again. And then somebody said, you know what? The new year is coming. But as long as you have the same drippy faucet, how can you fix the leak? It doesn't make sense. But we got to work with what we got going on here. So the owner says that he believes in the man. So, I mean, I don't hear Josh Allen disputing anything about it. And he's supposed to be the captain of the team. If Josh Allen would have came out and said, I don't believe in this or that, blah, 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 I could go with it. But he seems to be endorsing all this. So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to say this and let you talk right quick. Aramis, since I've watched you, I've heard you say a lot of negative things about my team, and you were absolutely right.
Oh, man.
Yes. You were absolutely right. You are, once again, the GM right now, okay? What can we do this year to fix our problem, to give us the best shot to win the Super Bowl? What do you think?
I think it comes down to one move. The one thing I think everybody is trying to hope their way past is history tells us that a team that transitions to a new system and keeps most of the same players typically takes more than 1 year to get good. It doesn't happen in one season. It's too much of a transition. There's too much thinking that happens on the field. So guys are going to play slower than they this coming season than they will in 2027. With that being said, if I'm the GM, knowing that, my focus needs to be on improving the offense as much as humanly possible. So if that's the case, I wouldn't have signed the 2 offensive linemen that we signed now. I probably would have reserved that to go after an offensive lineman in the draft, or find one of those, really good, maybe a little bit higher paid veterans in free agency to just get them on my line to make sure Josh Allen is protected, because I don't want to see him running for his life this coming season like he did last season. The thing that they could still do this season that I think really would change the game, some people might not want to hear this, but I think getting Stefon Diggs in the building for, the smallest amount of money that you could get him, gives you that separator that Josh can trust, that becomes a third, quite possibly even a fourth weapon on this offense in the pass game alone. And that's if you don't choose to use James Cook more in the passing game. If you keep him as just a, pure running back and you spell him and all that kind of stuff, then cool. But you're still putting out as pass catchers Dalton Kincaid, Stefon Diggs, Khalil Shakir, and then DJ Moore to be your impact players in the passing game. I think that would be too much. Even in a simplified Joe Brady scheme, that would be too much for most defenses to handle in the playoffs.
I appreciate that. 40 Keys.
Yes, sir.
Kind sir, I passed you several times at the airport, by the way. I was too afraid to talk to you.
No,
but anyway,
talk.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm in here in Georgia. You're a star, sir.
I appreciate it. No, anytime you see me, come on, say hi, man.
I said to my wife, I said, "Yeah, that's Big 40."
What up, say hi, man. Anytime. I'm dead serious. I'm even goofier.
I got you, sir. All right. Having said that, you are in charge of the draft. The first 4 rounds, I think we don't have a second round. Yeah. Okay. Rounds 1, 3, and 4. What are you drafting, kind sir?
If I have my way, I'm going to go ahead and I would take the wide receiver in the first round. I will take the wide receiver. Everybody is down on Casey Conception, but you got to go look at his quarterback. The dude just wasn't good. Conception to me models Stephon Diggs in the way he plays. He's shifty. Short area burst, catch the ball, take it to the house, play slot, play outside, play anywhere you want. About the same size too, about the same speed. Yeah. You're gonna buy. I would try to get into the second round. But
you have a first, a third, 2 fifths, a 6th, and a 7th.
So third, let's see. Third, if I am being frank with you, that's where I would go linebacker. That's where I would go with an edge. I look at R. Thomas. I forget exactly what his name is. A strange name. But he's from Oklahoma. Bendy guy out around the edge. I mean, he can play with his hand in the ground, play with his hand, play in a 2-point stance. He's a menace. He's not a menace like Bane, so we won't go there. But also, if he's not there, you could look at Jeremiah Trotter, which is a physical specimen at linebacker. He doesn't play; he's not as rangy, but he's more that downhill linebacker that you would want to execute your creepers. And in the was this one in the 4th round now?
Yep, 4th round pick, 126 overall.
The 4th round pick, I would give. I would give a shot, give a look at Ted Hurst out of Georgia State. So we're going 2 on wide receivers, and we're going to take a linebacker. Either you take your crack, or you take your rush guy. It's kind of exciting, if you want to go the boring route. Emmanuel Pregnon at 26, the guard out of Oregon, about 6'4", 220.
A lot of people knocking him to us.
Yeah, I mean he's worth it. He's a strong guy, worth it. He's got some nuances he's got to work on, but for the most part, he'd be an upgrade on Alec Anderson, Austin Corbett, anybody you want to put over there. So I mean, if we're talking about just trying to, like you said, make the offense better, let's go ahead and draft our Stephon Diggs type player. His dad played for UB. His dad was an NFL caliber player at cornerback. I don't know if people know that. He got in a lot of legal trouble, went to jail, but outside of that, this guy was it. And this was before transfer, so he was stuck in Buffalo for 4 years. So I think Conception, being born in Rochester, he has a motivation to come back to the area, just like Burton Tyson wanted to play. He wants to play in Cleveland because his brother plays for the Cavaliers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they asked him, what do you want? He's like, I would love to go to Cleveland. Me and my brother live together, second, third. So I think if you want to boost the offensive side, you go one defense somewhere in the middle, and you take your best offense in first, and try to fill out that wide receiver depth that can push somebody ahead of them. Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, out of the mix if at all possible.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just want to say this comment, and I'm out. I think it would be a good idea. I don't know how the chat feels about it. For maybe your show, maybe Tommy and a couple of people. Maybe I should get together and have like a forum like once a month and call it like Buffalo United or something. I think that would be really, really interesting. But you didn't hear from me. God bless you, and have a great rest of your day.
You, bro. Thank you. Yeah, Buffalo United. We're gonna have to use that. Hopefully, it's not copywritten already.
It'll be something. That was off the dome.
So no, Daquan, he suggested it because he's already got it in his back pocket. Yeah, right. Copywritten. It's a trademark.
Use it. Use my. What we were doing here. Okay, we did that.
Did you get Bodega?
This is what I was going to next. Yep. He said Terry really put the Minecraft buffaloes in front of the stadium. I don't know how I feel about those things.
Do you want to pull them up?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't. What the Transformer is this? You got 3 metallic beings that it's like a concept car from 1993, and it's just maybe it's like a B-52 bomber where it's invisible to radar. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Yeah, that's not it.
Definitely not it.
There it is. Well, that's go images on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what they're saying that it looks like. All right. So take this. All right, and then we'll go here and we'll go share screen. Okay, and let's bring that up top here.
So we got what? A father, a mom, and Superman baby Bison over here. So they render the Bisons. See, that's the first thing. They're Buffalo Bills and they render Bison. No, these are Buffaloes.
It's
the same thing.
It's so bad.
And the eyes light up and it's gonna have red and blue on the side. I mean, it's probably gonna be pretty nifty at night, but
they look more like Hot Wings than they do.
It took me a minute to see what was going on. I'm like, there's a lot happening here.
Yeah.
A lot happening here. I mean, whatever. It's cool. It's cool.
No, I mean, I think the picture is not the greatest. I probably wouldn't have led with this picture. The other thing too is the lighting that they're going to use on these is supposed to be interchangeable, so they can make them different colors. They can do all types of different designs. I think that's what's going to really, add some oomph to what looks like a very, basic design.
Right.
But for what they look like in the daytime, though, it's going to be hard for lighting to do any kind of work with the sun that's going to be around there, because it's a very wide open area with not a lot of sun coverage. So I think at night they'll look the best, and they'll look really good on night games, on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the angles and stuff they'll be able to get around them, which is cool. But I don't know if I would have gone geometric with the style.
It's abstract.
Yeah,
it actually belongs at it's hard because I do not want a world where we see those itty bitty buffaloes all around Buffalo just blown up to 27 feet, and like it's been done. So I mean, I can't hate on this because it's different. This should be at Albright Knox though, not really in front of the stadium.
Yeah,
I could see that. That would have been pretty sweet for Albright Knox back when they opened up the new one.
Well, you talking about the new addition they did down there?
Yeah, when they remodeled and put that whole thing over there.
Yeah, it's done, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying they should have put one of those. I can see it being there. It makes sense there.
Yeah, because of the shape of the building. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, that would have worked there for sure.
It's interesting. And Tommy said he's currently working on banning you from X for bean slander.
I've already been banned one time on Twitter. Don't give it to me again, please. Golly. Sam says probably to resemble that new uniform color, iced out.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
They could do something interesting with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see, like I said, I don't want an Allentown Buffalo where it's like it says peace and love on the side in paint and they just put it there like, oh, this is what we waited on.
Yeah.
It's pretty sleek. But now we gotta go full circle. We gotta get some with the jerseys, but you can't change the jersey because everybody bought jerseys. Now you gotta see it through.
Right. Does Bean have the beans to move up 15 spots?
For who?
I think you mean again because he did it last season.
For who? Well, I think he's on the first round. For who?
Oh, in the first. No, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean that would excite me because that means Jordan Tyson or Makai Lemon. That's what that means.
He'd have to give up a player to do it. So let me ask you this: so you're trying to make that move. Who on the Bills do you think has enough juice to help the trade go through, and who would you be willing to give up in a trade to move up 15 spots?
Everybody's gonna say Keon Coleman, but that's not gonna work.
No, there's no way.
But everybody, if you notice every trade,
you just put Keon Coleman in there.
Necessarily has Keon Coleman. I've seen things I'm like, why is he even in this trade?
Yeah.
But I let's see. So 2 firsts and a third. What would that do? 15 slots? Probably still wouldn't. Third this year, maybe. But a player. Who? Okay, so if we're doing a player, I'm trying to think who can you even trade, because you can't trade Bernard because he costs too much against the cap. Ed Oliver is too much to move right now, because they just restructured. Deion Dawkins is up there in age, so that wouldn't work. Russo got re-signed. See, this is the problem with re-signing and restructures.
You don't even know who you have.
Right. I can't. And I'm trying to think about their money, because we moved like with Taron Johnson. We lost the money because we restructured them. We didn't have to. We didn't do anything with them. Who's on expiring contract? I mean, who's even expiring that's worth talking about?
Well, nobody now. So if you're looking at, let me see. No, that's not what I want. Here it is. Close that. All right. So expiring deals. Nope. Because Dalton Kincaid's going to have his 5th-year option taken probably. McCole Hardman is on an expiring deal. Who else? Jalen Virgil and Andre Jones Jr. Everybody else, I mean, Joe Andreessen, you'll take a dead cap hit of $834. Everybody else is going to be a significant cap hit, bro. Deion Dawkins is probably your best bet, but even with him, you don't even save money. You lose $7 million in that deal, and you take on a dead cap hit of $31 million, and it's 31.9, so basically 32.
I don't think you have anybody you can even.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You can't do it. So let me ask you this. So now that we've established that you don't even have players that you can use to trade up 15 spots in the draft, did you hear about this Myles Garrett craze that everybody's going through this week? So the Browns.
I had to talk a lot of people off that ledge. I'm like,
yeah. Even if the Bills wanted to give up the picks necessary to get a guy like that, and to a degree, I would caution that, because we've never seen Myles Garrett in an odd front ever, right? Most of his career is 4-3 defensive end, wide 9, all that stuff. I would just be careful with wishing for something like that, because Max Crosby is a little bit different from the standpoint of having, and again, it's not saying that Myles Garrett can't do it, but the builds are different. The body builds are different. Max Crosby's body is a little bit better suited to handle defensive end stand-up responsibilities, as opposed to Myles Garrett, who is all explosion, all burst, all, you know what I'm saying? And not that he's not good in the run game too. It just would be very tough to expect him to drop in coverage. He doesn't have that kind of agility to just, start backing up and backpedaling and all that kind of stuff. Max Crosby, we've seen him do it. So I'm saying all this to say, realistically, as exciting as it sounds, the Browns open up this opportunity. I just would not.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the numbers. I mean, basically what it was is they moved the guarantee date back to 7 days before the league year, before the start of the season, or whatever the case may be. And Nate, I don't know if I said Jeremiah or what, but Josiah, I don't know what I said, but Trotter. Anyway, yeah. But did you see the cap hits for 2029, 2030?
No.
$58 million.
For 27?
For 28 and 29, Myles Garrett's cap hit is $58 million.
Both $58 million.
Both years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and he's on a 6-year deal?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So he's on a 6-year deal. They're going to have to restructure the next 2 years of his deal, which means he's probably going to retire in 4, maybe 5 years.
Yeah, that works against you, because that accelerates their. Yeah.
So if he retires, there's nothing you can do. You just take the entire dead cap hit for the last pretty much three years of that deal, and you're getting maybe 2 more years of prime, 1 more year after that of above average, better than most.
Yep.
And that's even if he wants to stick around. He might get tired of losing so much, he'll just retire early.
Right.
I don't know why the Browns did that. I would have traded him the second he said he wanted out, gotten everything that I could possibly get for him, and see ya.
Yeah. Yeah. Santa said the media looking for clickbait. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
STB said I blame a radio station for that. Yep. Pretty much. But you hear outlandish stuff like that when the draft is around the corner. That comes up all the time. You know, you'll hear, is Josh Allen on the chopping block? You know, somebody's going to put something like that out. You know, trade options for James Cook, Josh Allen, and all this is going to happen. It's not.
Right. So there's this article. Unless you had anything, did you have anything you wanted to get to? Okay. This is going to be quick. There's this article from Buffalo Down. Says Bills may be faced with tough roster decision with veteran wide receiver. They're talking about who?
Christian Wilkinson. So along that line, it's got to be.
So the Bills got about $13 million in cap space right now, and they're talking about Josh Palmer, and the conversation around Josh Palmer right now, for me anyway, is he's in the way of Keon Coleman. And as much as we are all secretly cheering for Keon Coleman to like really burst out and onto the scene and establish himself as that guy, the reality of it is it's bad whether he does or doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
If Keon Coleman does not become that dude this season, first and foremost, it's a bad draft pick. We know he's out of here the following offseason if they don't trade him at the midpoint in the season.
Mm-hmm.
If he does become that guy, though, you got an $11 million paperweight sitting on the bench in number 5, Josh Palmer. So you're kind of screwed either way. You're going to take this cap hit from Josh Palmer, whether you do or you don't. It's 11.7, so it's actually almost 12, right? If you tried to get rid of him now, it is a $14.2 million dead cap hit. If you tried to do it post June 1, it's still 9. And you don't say, actually, I'm sorry. So if you did it then, you're only saving $2.3 million on the salary cap this season. So technically, it's not really worth doing it just to be doing it that way either. You get what I'm saying? So that number, I guess I shouldn't say number 2 wide receiver spot, that Y position. The guy that you put there is responsible. Let me put it like this. Schematically, it's going to be, the responsibilities are going to change from game to game, but I should say the thought process overall is going to be whoever that number 2 receiver is, that Y receiver, your job is to even out the coverage for your number 1 in DJ Moore. That's always what it's been for the number 2 receiver, always.
Mm-hmm.
And then your slot guy takes advantage of it. Like every single pass catcher's responsibility on the field is to create space for the other guys around them. That's what you do. You stretch the defense out. You put defenders in conflict, and you create openings in their defense for somebody to get the ball. That's the basic idea of route concepts and offensive schemes in general, right? With that being the case, you put a great looking Keon Coleman on the field day 1. You're happy because he took Josh Palmer's spot, but you're paying Josh Palmer $11 million to sit on the bench. I don't see a great way out of this situation at all. I mean, and keep in mind, this is Brandon Beane's work. Like I get what Sam is saying as far as, you know, he's gotten us through all these years and working magic on the cap and all that kind of stuff. But here we have a second round pick in Keon Coleman that so far, for all intents and purposes, is a bust. And the guy that's ahead of him on the depth chart is a guy that you really don't even want Keon to take his spot, because it still works badly in your favor for your reputation as a general manager. So these are the kind of things that I'm looking at when I say, really, Brandon Beane? Like, it's just, I won't beat up a dead horse anymore this episode, but that's just, it's another example. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. It's right there in black and white for everybody to see. And I don't know how you can justify, oh, this guy's great, when we clearly have one of the biggest conflicts on the team that we could possibly have at one position. And that doesn't even include all of the older players that have already been restructured and leave us with basically no flexibility outside of restructuring Dion Dawkins. See how big your eyes just got. That's the only move they have left, bro. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. They can't restructure anybody else. If they tried to, I don't think they restructured Josh Palmer, but I just want to
too much.
No, it's not. So if you restructure Josh Palmer, his cap hit goes down to 7 point. I'm sorry, his cap number stays the same, and you save $6 million this year. Right? But now let's go to 2027. Right? On a restructure. See, Josh Palmer. So Josh Palmer's cap hit goes down next season. So you're saving $6 million, which means that 6 gets pushed to this year, or to the next season, right? So instead of it being a cap hit of $10 million, it's $16 million either next year or over the next 2 years, depending on how far they stretch that out.
Right.
So that $6 million that opens up doesn't just come from nowhere. It comes from the future.
Right.
So I mean,
just gotta let it ride. Really.
Yeah. Even with Dion Dawkins, if you restructure Dion Dawkins, he's saving you $11 million this year. But that $11 million's got to come from somewhere.
It adds 2 more years on the back end.
Exactly. So you're gonna pay him to not be on the team $5 million 1 year, $6 million the next, or 6 and 5, or however you want to split that up.
Yeah, you may as well just extend him through $3 million in total on that contract, give him a little raise, and
exactly. And then he retires a bill. All of the people that are, just loving the team just for the sake of loving the team, they love the move. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like you hate to see that, but if you want to save some money this year, that's what you have to do. Yep. Why? Because that's the position that Brandon Beane's moves both now this year and in the past have put us in. We have no cap flexibility. You shouldn't have to work magic every year.
Right.
That's the point. You shouldn't have to do it.
Why would you want to?
Right. Why would I want to make my life harder for years to come? Oh, well, the salary cap's supposed to go up. How much relief did that give us this year?
Right.
About what, $10 million worth?
Yeah.
Did it really matter? Because we're right back to what, $12, $13 million in cap space, with most of that having to go to draft picks this season. Folks, these are facts. This is not opinions. This is not, this is not even theories. These are proven facts. It's clear as day. Like for those of you that are still sitting on Bean Island after this, you choose to see what you want to see. And respectfully, I love y'all, but I can't save y'all. I can swim, but I can't save that many people. I can't say that many people at the same. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what do they tell lifeguards all the time? If you see somebody out there struggling and they look crazy, don't go out there and try to save them, because they're going to take you down with them. If they can't keep composed under pressure like that and try to keep themselves afloat and call for help or whatever the case may be, if you get over there and they start, oh my God, please, and they start going, no,
like,
can't help you.
You messed up.
Can't help you. Sorry. You dead. Period. That's where we at, people. That's where we at.
I mean, we got one more announcement, today is March 27th. We happen to have the first lady of Post Podium Podcast, who left us early, will watch this part. When I say happy birthday to you.
Oh! Wow. Happy birthday, Laura.
And on top of that, somebody else.
Uh-oh.
T, happy birthday to you tomorrow.
Oh! The person I'm afraid of most in this world is having a birthday tomorrow.
It.
Wow.
And when you have a birthday, you get cake. You know what goes to that cake?
I know what goes to that cake.
Do you know what goes to the cake?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
What goes with the cake?
It's got to be Reese's tea, baby.
No.
What?
So singing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. But after you sing happy birthday, you know what you do? You have the cake.
Stay with me now.
The cake is sweet.
Stay with me now.
You got, oh,
Stay with me now.
you got to wash it down with something.
Stay with me now.
Why would you do it with anything else
Stay with me now.
besides Reese's tea?
Stay with me now.
When you have cake, it has a lot of sugar in it.
Stay with me now.
You got to combat the sugar with healthiness.
Stay with me now.
Because what I know about Reese's tea is it's delicious.
Stay with me now.
It's refreshing.
Stay
Get all
with
that
me
sugar
now.
out of your mouth. And it's going to refill your health.
Stay with me now.
Laura T, remember, get yourself some of that Reese's tea.
Stay with me
Because,
now.
well, Laura, you're getting younger. T,
Stay with me now.
So
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
I want to use this title to say happy birthday to you guys. Everybody else, I'll give you guys happy birthdays when you tell me what your birthdays are. But I want to tell you about that Reese's tea. The Reese's tea is 4 delicious ingredients. 4. One of them is refreshingness. The other one, deliciousness. And the other 2 are healthy. That's what you get when you get yourself a case of Reese's tea. We're not even going to sell individuals anymore. We're not pushing that negativity. You got to get the case. I'm going to tell Damaris, they're doing too much of this. You've had it by now. You know you like it. Just just get to the chase. Get yourself a case of the good stuff. Like they said on Coming to America. You got McDonald's, you got McDowell's. We got the good stuff. Head to the description, that link downstairs. Let them know you need some of that stuff in large quantities. And while you at them, tell them Post Podium Podcast sent you. And maybe they'll let us know that our people are listening.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, we got to hit the close. Somebody play that music. Let's go. Man, that should be good right there. That should be tolerable. Hopefully everybody can hear us clearly because I know there's some warbling that happens usually when I play the music. So hopefully we're coming through for just fine now. I want to thank everybody that tuned in today. I think we got up to about 90 viewers live, which is that's fine with me. I love it. I just love being here. I love doing this with you, bro. And I love all you sharing your thoughts in the chat. That's why we do this. So with that being said, thank you very, very, very much for tuning in and spending this Friday night with us. If you haven't done so already, if you like what you heard and you want to support the show, this is the live stream. So thumbs is what gets us up there. You got to give us thumbs. Some of you are sitting at home and you're just like,
I might do it. I might not. I might do it. I might not. If you hear now, 76 people said it.
Do it.
73. No. Did you give us thumbs? Did you give us thumbs? If you're going back out now, give us some thumbs.
That's right. Oh, yeah. See, 3 people done backed out. Okay.
They thumbs up this stuff.
Hopefully they shifted, with a thumb on the way out. So, again, that's the way to help us out. Now, something that you can do that benefits both of us, right? It helps us out a little bit and helps you out a little bit at the same time. That is hitting that subscribe button, making sure that you get us on your home screen so you don't have to run around and search for us. We're right there. As soon as you pop open YouTube, every single time, we are there for you right when you want us. If you are the type of person that you just like doing stuff for yourself, you don't really care about anybody else, and it's never been about anybody else, it's been about you, we are totally fine with that. The way you can do that is hitting that bell, making that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, we got a lot of big things happening this summer, and I really cannot wait to unleash some of this stuff. It is coming up very soon, but you got to stay tuned, and the only way you're going to find out about that is if you got that bell on. So, for the time being, the next biggest thing coming from PPP is that next live episode on Monday, this coming Monday, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. sharp. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you on time this time, because we will be. We've been consistent now, so it ain't on us, it's on you. But listen, again, Thank you so much. We appreciate all your thoughts. We appreciate all the effort that you guys give to us to, be with us in the chat and create this culture that you've created with us. We feel like a family, and that's all because of y'all. So, with that being said, it's been the Post Podium Podcast, home of y'all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And John Blackman, I got to go to work. Go back about an hour. I touched on your topic, just so you know. We'll come back Monday. We'll talk about it. I got time. It's 40 keys. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Peace.